Hello, welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we are going to discuss about another interesting topic. It's pyramid of adversary profiling. So actually, nowadays, the attribution is a very hard. Profiling threat actors is a very challenging because actually it's a new revolution, a new evolution of the cyber warfare in the cyberspace, in the digital battlefield. Um, the main reason is actually um, there are there are some new product, some new models, some new methodology in the blue team side, in the white hat, and actually again in a black hat side. So actually, um, nowadays it's a very complex operations, and they conduct OPSEC, operational security, to um, protecting their identity, protecting their information, and using a dozen different ways to mimic and misdirect of white guys, or we can say the defenders, the cyber defenders. So actually, I have decided to create this pyramid last year to actually be helpful, be a new model to protecting critical infrastructures, to protecting business, to protecting the industry, and any kind of the organization actually. So this model, this pyramid, is not for individual. So it's not for a one person actually, because maybe the cyber attack for one person, between a quotation, sometimes it's just a randomized attack. So it's not something that we can say targeted, especially if the person is not diplomatic, is not a politician, is not generalist, is not a activist and human right, and so on. But actually, this pyramid can change a cyber landscape. Maybe not for now, but actually in the next maybe 10 years later, inshallah, we will see how this pyramid will be helpful for adversary profiling. So actually, we have many models. We have a pyramid of pain, we have diamond model. So actually, my pyramid is a close related to diamond model. But actually, still, most of the cyber defenders relying on um, relying on indicator of compromise, relying on pyramid of the pain. So actually, that's a pyramid of the pain. So it's focus on hash values, focus on IP addresses, focus on domain names, network and host artifacts, tools and TTPs. But actually, nowadays threat actors have a multiple way to bypasses this pyramid and conducting their cyber operation without being detected. So actually, the defenders, the blue team side, only wasting the time, only just trying to some practices to learn about the sample. But actually, the sample is not important at all, especially in to profiling the adversary. I will tell you not why. So why actually pyramid of the pain, it cannot be um, useful nowadays, even for analyzing a malwares. So actually, this this idea could be some kind of being a rude. How pyramid of pain um, expired for today. So actually, let me tell you the whole story. So if you came to the hash value, it's a very easy to reveal the hash value. You can just try to using hash cal, detect it easy, or using PowerShell get hash file name dash algorithm MD5 SHA-200 56 SHA-1, and so on. But actually, what if attackers just insert one null byte into the hash, into the portable executable? So the entire hash will change. Okay, and let us move into the IP address. So what if attackers use um, IP flags? So actually, or using some kind of auto IP changer and very fast, maybe in 3 seconds or 2 seconds. So it's a very easy to do. It's not something hard. You can just try to use the ChatGPT to create a script like that. In addition, let's move to the domain name. So what if threat actor is conducted DGA, domain generation algorithm, so generating thousand or hundred of domains. So actually how you can control all of this, especially if you're working in the company, you have a time limited. I have talked on conducted a meeting, a Google Meet, so that's clear. They face thousands of samples every day, so they don't have a time to look all of it, samples by samples, and actually it's take a lot of times. And actually related to network or host artifacts, so actually user threat actor can use maybe some kind of like our VPS, RDP, or crafting custom user agents. So we are conducted some static analysis of some malwares that they are conducted crafted user agent, custom user agents. About the tools, so actually for example, let's say the threat actor using Cobalt Strike. Okay, so they can alter into PowerShell Empire, they can move to direct command, they can move to revenge rod, they move to extreme rod, they move into the angel rod, so they move to blacknet and many others of a ratis or the botnets. And related to the DTP, so actually based on the pyramid of the pain, so the one of the most challenging to it's a finding technique and tactic procedures, TTPs. But actually we are explaining that on the ransomware TTPs playlist, that each groups can copy and clone the other group's tactic and technique, and actually that's make profiling adversary is a more challenging and make it annoying. So actually that's why I have I got a one thought to create this pyramid. So actually this pyramid looked like some kind of the crazy, but actually when we start move into this pyramid and see how it can be a good model to protecting critical infrastructures, to protecting industries, to protecting business, to protecting government even, and maybe for now it's nothing, but inshallah for next 10 years, next 5 years, you will see how this pyramid will change a landscape. So we will see inshallah that how this pyramid change a landscape, change the cyber landscape, because actually this pyramid in a multiple way, I mean the pyramid of the pain is outdated, so it's back to 11 years ago. So imagine it's in the age of NG Rod, in the age of the Ardamax Kilogers, in the age of the Dark Comet, in the age of the Zeus botnet, a new version. So in the age of Athena botnet. So actually it's it's good for beginners. It's good for beginners, but actually for advanced people, it's not make a sense at all. So okay, That's a great question. So, how you are 100% that this domain name that that's an actual domain that threat actors um, use it as communication channel between the victim and the the attacker itself. Actually, you don't have any evidence, you don't have any guarantees. So actually, attackers can mimic you by uploading a junk C2. That's a cool name, cool term, junk C2. The unusable C2. For example, the actual C2 is covenant, but actually they generate domains, okay, and in a some technical way, it makes the malwares connected into the junk C2 first of all. For example, it's a sliver, but actually the actual C2 is a covenant. Let's say it's a mythic. So what's your evidence actually? What's your guarantee that actual domain is? So there are many multiple ways that threat actors can misdirect you, can mimic you, and there are nothing you can do. Just wasting time and get some maybe some teeny information about the sample list, about the hashes, about the domains, some user agent, and actually writing a rule. It's a good for antivirus companies, but actually um, for eradicating uh, a threat actors or the distribution of the cyber operation is not useful at all. Okay, so maybe it's some kind of a being rude actually, a guy from a different world, a different nation that say something like that. But actually, um, let's make another example that make us sound more interested. Okay, a blue teamers that found let's say a domain, okay, and contact them, but actually threat actor using DGA, domain generation algorithm, and this domain that you are suspended by contacting hosting provider is not the root domain, it's not apex. So what you get? Nothing. So I got a one scamming case in this years that threat actors, or we can say the scammer, registered 100 of this domain like this with the same mechanism, with the same template. So actually, I think we are just make making some kind of a cat and mouse game, actually. So one of my goal is to change the cyber landscape with this new pyramid actually. So what's a pyramid of adversary profiling? So pyramid of adversary profiling is a structured framework for analyzing cyber threat. The pyramid breaks down adversary action into 5 critical components, like who, why, how, what. So actually, let's move into pyramid of adversary profiling. So actually, the one of the most important is actually is a structure of the pyramid. Who, adversary identity, identify the threat actor or group behind the attack. Why, motivation and intent. So actually, that's an adversary goal. And what's a targeted asset? So actually, that's one of the important stuff. Okay, so then we will compare it into the diamond model and how the execution method and when it's a timing. So actually, who and what and how it in some kind is related into um, diamond model, related to the diamond model. That's one of the critical question that every malware analyst should ask himself, should ask herself when is conducting analyzing a malware. So actually, why you analyzing a malware? So actually, it's a question. What's your goal? What's your intent that you are going to profiling third actors, going to analyzing a malware? So actually, from time to time, this question take your hand as and uh, will guide you to protecting your business, your critical infrastructure, your intellectual properties, your identity. Actually, okay. So actually, I think if we try to follow indicator of compromise, we are always one step back or one step behind of attackers, because actually they can register a new domain, they can register new IP addresses, they can build a custom payload, they can build a custom tool, they can build a custom technique, they can clone another technique. It's just a wasting time. You are never win the game if we are as a cyber defender um, just following indicator of compromise. So actually, um, that's why we have to try to update our model, update our security models, because actually the internet is not designed by security at all. So we have to try to be a one step forward than adversary itself, and it can be done if we be one unit together, no matter where you are from, no matter what your religion is, no matter what your personality is. Actually, the matter is we have to provide a secure cyberspace for ourselves and for our next generation, because actually the world now is interconnected. Okay, so the 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 POAP pyramid of adversary profiling is actually a proactive defense. It's a proactive. Actually, it's not a reactive. So it's actually mostly focused on the main reason of the cyber attack on your business, on your in your identity, in your company, in your organization, in your network, in yourself. But actually, um, when you are using indicator of compromise or using pyramid of the pain, it doesn't provide any kind of spotters that guide you and take your hand for the real question, why your organization has been targeted. Why you are targeted, why this payload is specifically customized and designed for your organization. So actually that's a main question. And maybe uh, the client um, told about uh, the case, but actually sometimes it's not. So you have to try to conduct your own investigation by yourself. So that's why this POAP pyramid of adversary profiling will change a cyber landscape. So actually, the POAP is designed for long term, for 20 years, for 10 years actually, because actually, again, the sound is some kind of a being rude. Why POAP can still alive for 10 or 20 years? Because actually the motive of the cyber operation, of the cyber offensive operation, or of the cyber attack is change, but not soon. It take a long time actually. So imagine the first virus, or we can say the first computer worms, is just designed for fun, and after 10 to 15 years, okay, so I mean 5 years, it designed for cyber operation. and then after 10 years design it for getting pay, getting a money, doing some scamming stuffs, conducting a ransomware attack. So actually, I am sure, I am sure that the intent of the malware operation will still remain like now for next 20 years, because actually that's why POAP is designing for long-term cyber resilience. And actually, um, if it, as I mentioned it, it's a focus on adversary-centric approach, instead just tracking dummy indicator of compromise, because when we are trying to collecting indicator of compromise, there are no guarantee that's actually it's a real one, because actually the malware now metaformism, polyformic, and some kind of other auto code changing or auto functionality changing mechanism, and that's make tracking stuff more and more challenging. And that actually the POAP mission, so POAP is always move beyond static indicators, static indicators. So actually we are discussing that indicator of compromise should be actually still be used, but we don't have to relying on it at all. So in institute, in universities, in a courses, indicator of compromise, indicator of compromise, indicator of compromise. So actually threat actor just even can spoofing or masquerading even ID and security logos and the other stuff is. And actually it's an enhanced strategic decision making, and actually it provide proactive defense instead of reactive. So actually why I have to care about my data after I am being compromised by threat actors? So actually my data is gone, so why should I take a defense? Okay, so actually if our data is breached, our company data, so we have to pay the fee of the breaking general data protection law. But actually with this pyramid there are limited chance to make this happen, because actually instead following domains, IPs, hashes, and so on, it's a good for writing rules, but it's not good for actually distributing the cyber operation. So actually that's all. You can just move into malfab.gitbook.io, pyramid of adversary profiling, and you can take a journey on it and start your reading and